everybody, welcome back to Sam Can Do, the channel where I am currently not sitting at my desk, which is funny because my monitor is right here. So if you see me looking this way, it's because I'm being self-conscious and also making sure that I'm still in focus. But welcome back to my channel. Since the last time we've spoke, something kind of wild happened. I turned 30 years old. I don't know what it actually means. I don't know how I actually feel about it. And turning 30 during quarantine is the worst. My friends and family have been so wonderful to me, but I wanted to throw myself the most epic party. I was planning on getting a party bus. We were gonna go get a fancy meal and then go see amateur wrestling, and then party bus and then party here. It was gonna be such a good time. But something that did happen is that around 28, 29, your body changes, things happen, and something deep within me said, Sam, you're dying slowly. You need to be surrounded by houseplants. I used to think that plants were so stupid. I thought if I can't eat it, I don't want it, I don't care. I still don't like flowers, especially because cut flowers, they die. I'm not into it. But I remember watching Jenna Marble's video about her walking through her jungle of a house. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's insane.
I got accused of running a rainforest cafe at my house. Can a lady just not have some plants?
And now that is me. Well, I don't have as many plants as she has, and I don't have as many plants as some of, I'm sure you have, but something has happened to me and we have a lot of plants in this house. Also, you're kind of seeing the other side of my studio. I just felt like changing it up. This studio is a work in progress. One thing I really loved, and when I got on Pinterest and I saw, oh my gosh, is propagation. I love propagating succulents where you like wiggle a little nubby off and then you make a new succulent. Like, it's incredible. And I do it and it works. And now you can cut leaves of other plants and multiply plants and just keep a plant chain of life that goes and goes and goes. So I'm still new to it. But one thing I saw was people were using test tubes to have their propagations in there. So which I don't know if I'm doing this right, but I made sure that they all have nodes, and then the white things are roots that are coming out. So I have a bunch of these test tubes that I was like, man, how beautiful, like just literally how beautiful is this just in itself, growing, living, growing roots, and eventually I'll plant it in a pot and I'll start the whole process over again, multiplying these plants. I might not keep them all. I might take some to the Elijah Rising shop. I might give them to friends, but this process, I love being surrounded by tiny little pieces of life. And if you don't get that, then maybe you're in your early 20s. One thing I wanted to do was to create something with the Glowforge that could present those, because they had these really cool displays online, and I don't have a table saw. I don't have the things that maybe you could make it easier, but I saw something on Pinterest. So I kept seeing stuff like this, which would probably be better if I just put a screenshot, but like we're right here. And I thought, that's cool, it's so simple, it's so lovely, but I kind of wanted to mount it on the wall. And then I saw this. So I'll link this down below so that if you just want to buy these, you can. But I didn't like the size of this. I don't like how the glass is just in here. So what I did was I took my iPad and I said, okay, I want to do this on Glowforge. Let me do a kind of like a mock-up of what I want to do. But it's basically a square where I wanted 2/3 of the actual tube itself to be inside. So the only thing that I find myself doing over and over on these projects, okay, so I have the measurements, the files will be attached if you guys want to make this yourself, of course. And so what I did was I started doing some tests. I first started with the maple plywood, which I can grab it. We can all journey. So I got maple plywood, which this is actually maple hardwood, which you could use too, but it would be really expensive and it would make more sense for you to just like use wood and cut it with regular machines. But anyway, maple plywood that was about this thin. But in order to make it as thick as we need to fit this 1-inch tube, you would need a million layers of these, and then you're wasting a ton of material. So I picked the Glowforge maple plywood that is thick. It's actually 1/4 of an inch. So that it only took me 7 layers of this. And so with the Glowforge, I could actually print out one whole piece at a time to hold the things together. So kind of seeing this time lapse, I put the stuff in there. Now, one thing that I wish I would have done when I started, I was like, okay, can I do this project? I'm always like not sure that I can accomplish things because, you know, the creative process is organic and alive, or maybe I'm just incompetent. But I put the thing in there, I tried it a bunch of different speeds and a bunch of different powers, and I kept on finding that it was not cutting all the way through, which is like my ultimate frustration. But I ended up using it at 110 speed full power. What I kind of wish I would have done was do 2 passes at a faster speed full power, because it kind of, some of them it burnt the paper, which made it very difficult to pull off. And so and that's another thing about this project. It takes a long time to peel off the sticky tape. You get a friend to help you, it's fine. Or you use a little like piece of duct tape. So I'm wondering if I would have just done it at a slower rate, or at a faster rate, but 2 times, if it would have been better. So threw that in there, cut it all apart. And then what I ended up with, this. So I'm like, ta-da, it's a square. But there's a lot of special things about the way that I made this that I'm really excited about. First of all, what I did was use 7 layers. I made the file so that it had a back, because I didn't want the glass to be wiggling and like touching the wall. So I made a front and a back, and then the sides come to the side so it's not big and open. I wanted it to fit really nicely in there. It's nice in the snug fit so it stays straight, and it looks just like this. Now this you can sit it on a shelf, but what is really special is that I put 2 holes in the back. So these 2 holes make it so that you can hang it on 2 nails, or it's actually the perfect size for like a clear thumbtack. And then it sits flush against the wall, and it's so freaking cool and pretty. And then once you cut it out, take off the things and then wood glue it together, and it ends up looking like this. But one thing I want to try tonight is I want to see what happens because I don't have really good clamps. So you might be able to see there's actually some variation of the width of sticking out, because at the end of the day, like when you're gluing stuff together, stuff can move around. This isn't a hardwood, so it has some give to it. So I'm gonna take one of these outside and sand it and see if I can get something different, better, if we like it better. And yeah. And one thing I've never done on this channel is, if you don't have a Glowforge, I'm gonna tell you how to do this a different way that I think will work too. I guess I have to open the sander if I want to sand these. It took me way too long that I'd like to admit to put this on. That seems aggressive. First of all, I will say I'm terrified of over sanding it. But onward for science. I will say the sensation on my hand is oh, it feels so nice. It feels so smooth. So I haven't gotten all, I think I need to do a little bit more. So I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so I think I've got it all the way down on one side. It seems very even to me. Okay, I'm not getting it to focus, but I'll get close-ups afterwards. But it feels so nice. And if you were gonna paint the sides, I think this would be the way to go. But the way that this feels, I'm kind of into it. So I'm gonna do the rest of the sides, and then I'll come back and check in then. Okay, so I sanded all 4 sides, and this is what it looks like. So I wasn't able to get rid of, and maybe I could have gone longer on this one, but I feel like the sanding actually kind of emphasizes the layers. But at the end of the, like, I'm not mad at the sanded final project too. So let's see what it looks like with the plant inside. So this is what the sanded one looks like. Obviously, most of you guys will have white walls. Yeah, I think it looks super dope. This is with another cutting. It's like kind of huge, so it has the black sides. I don't mind either. I think they both look really pretty, and on a white wall too, I kind of hung it up crooked, but on a white wall, it like emphasizes the beauty of whatever cutting you have in there. Now, if you don't have a Glowforge, you can of course just buy this online. Why am I not in focus? But you also could use something like this. Now, I don't know how this would work in a 2x4 or some kind of piece of wood. Could be a couple pieces of wood that you glue together, but this would cut out that initial big hole. And then you could use, it has to be 1 inch, well, it has to be the same size as whatever test tube you have. You can get smaller ones, you can get bigger ones. Drill like this to cut out that hole, and it should have a similar outcome with those two tools. You can find them at Home Depot, you can find them on Amazon. But yeah, so that's a different way that you can do this. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. I so appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I really loved doing the giveaway. I love that you guys are so vocal in all the comments. Please comment down below, what plants do you have? What do you like to do with your plants? Have you ever done cuttings before? Do you want me to talk more about plants on my channel? And also, the next project I'm going to do is a collaboration. I have a couple collaborations coming up, as well as a parquet project that I'm very scared about. But we're gonna try it, we're gonna go there. And yeah, make sure you follow me wow, I almost just said my work things. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. I post there all the time. And make sure you follow me on TikTok, which I have 21,000 followers on TikTok. I mean, I don't know how that happened, but my daughter had a famous TikTok where she drank french fries out of wine glasses. It was a really big deal. But I've really been enjoying the platform. Thanks again for coming by. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Make my day, make me happy. I'm giving you free stuff. Come on, guys, just help me out. And I'll see you next time. Bye.